It is almost at the end of January, and why it is decided to snow now instead of back in December is beyond me, but I figured that this would be as good as time as any to talk about the year that was 2014, and what a year it has been. If you were to ask me what my favorite year as of late has been, it is 2014, because of many reasons I can actually look back on, and I can actually just... Where do I start? Okay. When I was thinking back about the wonderful movie, which was the Lego movie, what I saw back in theaters back in January last year, I was thinking back to the massive contest which was made by Family Duel 7X about the giant video game medley contest, which was basically the starting point of actually making YouTube videos again. And when I wasn't thinking back to the zoo I got to visit back in summer, when I wasn't thinking back to that, I was thinking back to when I was riding my usual 2-hour-long bicycle ride after I saw the wonderful movie which was How to Train Your Dragon 2 with a giant smile on my face. And when I wasn't thinking back to the play which I was going to play as an actor, I was thinking back to me just sitting and having a good time playing Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, which might be explanation for why I have been delaying a lot of work lately. But that is exactly the thing that I wanted to talk about now. And that is, as good as it has been 2014, about one thing that's occurred is that what have I been doing lately? Because if any of you people remember back in, I think September, I think it was, I don't really know on top of my head, I think it was at least back in summer, I said that I was going to release at least a lot of new original compositions, and I would actually throw in a few video game remixes here and then, because I wanted to put more focus on original work, because that is where my heart lies. That is what I want to do. I want to make original music. That's the thing that I drive to be a composer or something like that. But what has been going on? Well, I'll tell you exactly what's been going on. Because as of late I have been making nothing more. I've been making remixes more than usual lately. Because I have set up I've been saying before, but I've been setting up a schedule where I will basically, okay, I'm gonna make original work now, video game remix, original work, and then upload old work, and then keep it at it. But it's been more just video game remixes, and the reason for why is because of this. I've been extremely busy trying to work on other things back in the meantime, and that's not, when I'm not working on artwork, when I'm not working on the title cards for webcomic relief, I am working on original work for a play that I'm working on at the moment. Because back in the summer, it's a little story by the way. I've been last year. I actually got to work at a play. We started back in February and we got finished back in summer. During that play, I actually got to play as an actor, yes, but also my instructor for that specific play noticed that I actually compose music, and she asked me, hey, could you make music for the pause segments, like when we're not doing the play, we can have like the first act and second act, and in the middle of these two acts you can put the music while the audience having a fika, it's called in Swedish by the way, but I don't know what it's called in English, so we'll let it slide for now. And I said, okay, fine. One of the actors, Carola, her name was, asked me if I was interested to compose music for her play she was going to make this summer. I think it was back in autumn? Autumn, I think it was, yes. And it was going to be I'm not going to say now what the play is about, I'm not going to say it now, but more than usual she's been asking me on a specific feel what the music should be, and I've been trying to work with that. And as of late I have now been extraordinarily busy. When it's not studying on my school, which I have been finished now, it is done. I don't need to think of any of those tests anymore. Oh boy, I cannot name you a moment where I have been forced myself to actually make original music so much that I've been looking back at my YouTube channels like, wow, it is the latest original work I actually uploaded was back in October. And usually I just upload more than once because of it. And yeah, that is because of this reason, that it is not real. It's not that I don't want to do an original work anymore, because that's, as I said before, my heart lies in original work. It's just that remixes are a little bit more easier to go by. Why? Because remixes basically have every single thing there that you can work with. With original work, you have to work from the scratch and then work yourself from there. You have to do everything from scratch. And that's what I love most, where I can actually experiment. And when you get something from me, you're not going to get something too simple. You're going to get something very complex. And that's the main reason for why I have been doing something that is... it's been quite a challenge to me, because that's quite the challenge. But if you saw something on my Twitter about it, when I said that, you know when you're going too hard as a composer, when your actors and your singers are basically telling you that you're making music too complex for them. And that's the thing with me, it's like, when I sit down, I have a huge urgency to actually just continue with it, and I just don't know to say, okay, this is good, keep it as it is, stop it now. I don't have that, I don't have the same luxury to basically say like, okay, this work is done, is good, done now, leave it now, because I'm always left with that feeling saying like, no, there's something more I can do, there's something else I can do. It's not a nightmare, it's far from a nightmare, by the way. It's just that a lot of things has been going on. When I wasn't working on the original music for the play, I was assigned to make original music for a short film as well. And that means that I had to make one which has a more... I'll give you this. I'll give you this hint. Is that the play is more of a happy-go-lucky... not happy-go-lucky. It's more light-hearted version that I had to make music for. Whereas the short film is more depressive. It's more... what's the right word? Yeah, it's more depressing. So it's like two different tones I have to work with at the same time, because it is actually very demanding work from me. Because I'm never satisfied. I'm almost never satisfied until I actually sit down and get it done and actually think like, okay, this is a good tone to it. This is a good feel. This is good setup of melody. And yeah, that has been going across the day, so that's why you've been seeing more video game remixes now, because I will go back to original work, I will, but now onto the second subject matter, and that is, I have been, most people know me as the webcomic relief artist who makes the title cards for his reviews, and if you were to see any of my artwork which is more sinister, I think the Las Lindas one is probably the one where I have been more crude, more depressingly crude, not depressingly, but more sinister, more than anything. And if you've read the comic Las Lindas, you know, you know why I feel such toward hatred to it. To be fair, he shares more hatred toward it than I do. And I've also been known as the video game remixer, but this is the time that I feel like I actually wanted to give you guys a shot to ask a bit of questions. And that can have to do with anything. Whether you want to ask me about my music, my art, if you want to ask about commissions, if you want to ask about collaborations, hell, even if you want to ask for helpful tips. Now's your chance. Now's your chance to ask me about anything, because I plan to actually make a Q&A video. And I plan to do something big with it. I plan to do something... It's not going to be like a extraordinarily regular thing where it basically takes over my work. It's never going to be that. It's going to be like... it's something I want to continue. But I want to make sure that it actually is something that... I want to give people who didn't get the chance this time around to get the chance next time. I think that's all I have for today, except that, of course, you can reach me through YouTube. That's like my, DeviantArt and YouTube are like my two main sites. But if you want to ask any questions about any other website, you can reach me through Twitter, you can reach me through SoundCloud, you can reach me through Newgrounds, you can reach me through Tumblr, you can even reach me through, what's that website's name? I forget. Nah, I think that's all. But if you want to reach me through, if you want to ask any questions, you feel free to do so. And it doesn't have to be on this video, because I can you can put it on any of the other videos that I made, because my subscriber count is basically pretty low. So I have a huge advantage of actually taking as much time as I can and focusing it on you guys. Because had it been like 1,000 subscribers, I wouldn't have the time. It's like, okay, this is no. Luckily that's not now, because I wanna grow more slowly, more gradually, so I can actually, that's the low point that happened to a lot of YouTubers, by the way, that if you hit the subscriber mark on a high note rather quickly, you can change as a person for the worse, or you can basically use your fan base. I think everyone knows that. It's like, if you reach the point where you have a high amount, it's a huge risk where you might actually take advantage of that audience, which I never want to be that person. If I want to be popular, if I want to be like that huge, high popular, I want to be make sure that it actually is slowly as possible, because I want to make sure that I adapt to the gradual progression, so that it doesn't happen so quickly, so I will change as a person, because I don't think anyone would actually like to happen. And with that said, I think that's all that I have to say now. So as of now, I am going to get myself something to eat, and I hope you all have a wonderful day here in January, and here's to 2015. This is Toxic Dental signing out, and have a good day. Take care.